everything that's being tried now can still go wrong. And that the money being wagered on music may even be more risky than money being wagered on other parts of the digital business. But that nevertheless, the potential is so huge that people are willing to take more of a risk, apparently. And that's kind of cool. So even among VCs, you can't really avoid this something irrational approach to music, this belief in the fact that something that's so emotional and so great and that everybody loves must eventually turn out money. Even if you don't know yet how, but it must eventually, just as the air that you breathe. And I'm kind of happy that is so, but again, I'm unsure if at least in the short term, this will actually yield the returns that normally investors dream of.
Maybe later on we will learn some more, because there is an upcoming panel, Think Music, What is the Future of Music Online? And we will discuss that a bit. Thank you so much. So as mentioned before, we carry on with the next keynote held by Carsten Steffen, founder of applaudto. I'm your biggest fan, why is that? Or how crowdsourcing opens new perspective. Please welcome Carsten Steffen. Over to you, Carsten.
Hey, hello. As you can see, I'm trying to get a little bit more interactional here. Who of the guys in the audience is a musician? Okay. Who of you is actually doing this for a living? Okay, so you're a musician and you're not making money with it, right?
Yeah, just for myself.
Just for yourself?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any intentions to make money with it?
No, it's more so therapy.
Okay.
It's more, yeah. All right. Expression.
Okay, great, thank you. How many of you guys is involved in the music industry? So you're making your living from it? Are you working for a label? No? Huh? Okay, all right, cool. So I'm here to just invite you to take a little different perspective on music and what makes music very special. Not so much to talk about my own company, which will launch the platform by end of this year, but just want to give you some approach, some perspectives on exactly what you see in there. This is what you get to see and read so often these days, that I'm your biggest fan. Why is that? So let's take a look at it. That's a picture that was taken of Henrik Schwarz, who's a pretty famous DJ or live act, let's say, in a club in Munich. And if you notice this guy here, you can see that obviously what Henrik is doing is causing some very interesting moments for this guy. You know, he's really obviously having a very particular and special moment there. Thank you for dimming down the lights. It's helpful. And I was wondering, why is that? You know, how does it happen that somebody feels like him? And this obviously happens when the musician is sort of touching the heart of somebody who's listening to it. And this is what basically also differentiates maybe an average musician from somebody who's really attracting some attention, who's having some success. And where does it lead to? That's the question I'm asking. Whoops. So what I'm basically doing is I want to introduce you to Louis Hyde. Louis Hyde is an author who has written a famous book in 1983, I guess it was. And the book is called The Gift. In the subtitle you can see, you know, it's how the creative spirit transforms the world. And whoever is interested in following some very interesting thoughts that really apply to music in general, or to all arts, let's say performing arts, I really invite you to have a look at this book. As you can get, you know, I'm really not trying to give you too much text. There will be only 2 slides, but those 2 slides I would really like you to read what is written there, because it's essential for understanding what happens in music and if you want to apply this, you know, to the music industry, it will give us some really essential food of thought. A gift that cannot be given away ceases to be a gift. The spirit of a gift is kept alive by its constant donation. Okay? If this is the case, then the gifts of the inner world must be accepted as gifts in the outer world, if they are to retain their vitality. Okay, what does that mean? It basically means that talent is a gift. If I'm able to play the piano in a way that makes people feel that their hearts are attached, it's a talent. It's something that cannot be bought. You know, it's not a luxury that you can eventually buy for a couple of euros or tons of euros. It's something that either you have or you don't. You know, it's something that was given to you by birth, maybe. Let's say, okay. So, for musicians, for the real musicians, music is their life. You know, everything that they feel and think and that they really want to do is music. And I want to have a little look at what that actually means. Now, the musicians, they are putting a lot of effort, time and energy into making their music. It's something that if you're lucky and if you get the chance to play on stage, you know, you can get some feedback from a couple of people or maybe many people. And that's a very particular moment for any musician, because that's where he's getting some direct feedback from the audience. And if you're basically playing like in a little environment, if you're a DJ, sometimes you get some personal feedback on what you do if the people like it. And there's something about, unfortunate that the resolution is a little bit messed up here, but with social media, I think that social media has sort of like dramatically changed the way that actors, creators, musicians are able to directly interact with their fans, with their audience. And here's an example from Henrik Schwartz, who's living in Berlin. And I checked this out. I took this screenshot 2 days ago, actually. And as you can see, there's this post here, which I can translate for you. I heard this track about 4 years ago at the Time Warp, with played by Timo Maas, and ever since I was trying to find it. Right now I've finally found that song, and it's from you. Thank you for this really super gift that you have given to me. So people out there actually perceive music that other people, or that musicians are doing, perceive as a gift. And always keep in mind these little quotes from Louis Hyde's book, where he says that to retain the vitality, there needs to be some constant donation. So we're facing a challenge here. We know that the big ones in the industry, like Rihanna, you know, they are adding up fans on Facebook like crazy. I'm watching this very closely at the moment. And I'm seeing that in the past 2 months, you know, she was able to increase her fan base by 6.5 million in just 2 months. So another example is Paul Kalkbrenner, which most of you will know the name of. A couple of weeks ago, he did a little post where he said that the DVD of his 2010 tour is now available in French as well. And within 15 minutes, this post had 1,700 likes and 360 comments. This is not something new that I'm telling you, but I think it's very important, you know, to understand this social media environment as an opportunity, as a chance to understand what music is all about. And I think we should sort of like stop thinking about how can we make money all the time in the industry. We should reinvent, you know, what does music mean? You know, what does music not only mean to me individually, but what does it mean in terms of like interaction? If you probably noticed that yourself every once in a while, you know, where you're just playing away something, and when you're really sinking inside yourself, and when you do what you really feel for yourself, and if people happen to be around who get it, you know, there's a high level of energy, and I think that's something where that we should sort of like start to use as a basis for ideas how we can actually make money from it. Okay, because money is something obviously we all need. And here's a little movie. I'm not sure if you've seen that before, but I just wanted to show that to you. It's a pretty impressive little piece of 2 minutes video where, and there are two guys from, no, they just left from Google here, but it's pretty impressive to see what actually happened to Lady Gaga. Can we get some? No? Can we get some sound? Okay.
Roma, ma, ga, ultala. あなたの悪い恋愛をしたい。
So yeah, I think that's a pretty little impressive movie that summarizes what music can do in the interactive world. You know, it's what we used to call audience participation in the old days. You know, when you were on stage and there was some interaction. We have the chance to expand this tremendously in interactive media and especially in social media. So there's this point of a musician that has it inside itself and would really like to live by it, and it's extremely difficult, you know. There's a couple of figures that I digged out. It's actually a source that I found on the net who somebody has made the effort, you know, to really dig out the details in terms of like how much sales does a solo musician need to generate to come to that minimum wage of 1100 US in the States, and it's sort of ridiculous to see that a solo musician needs to realize 12,400 track downloads per month, you know, to get to just $1,160, which is probably not really going to pay his bills, right? So we sort of trying to get a different approach and find ways how to put this into perspective. Basically, it's because there are middlemen who grab almost the entire value of the money that's being spent. I talked to Henrik, and he was telling me if somebody buys a song of his on iTunes, then Apple gets about 50% of it. The rest goes to the label, and he gets 25% of the profit of the label, which is totally intransparent to him. So we start to understand that this is the case, and we all know this is definitely not fair. And if I'm paying like €1 for a song, I was under the naive impression that a good part of that money goes to the one who's actually making it. But I was totally wrong, so I started to think about what's going to happen, because I don't want to have my money being ending up in hands that I don't understand. I don't see the real value, and it's not something that I'm saying the entire music industry is completely wrong. I just started to think about what can we change, you know. I don't want to be against something, you know. We all know about this. It's nothing new that I'm telling you here. But I was starting to think about how can we create a different environment for especially musicians, you know, where exactly this is happening, that they are able to give away what they have received as a gift for free. And if you feel that you have received the gift, you should be basically free to give them something back, right? And the problem really is that like I just explained.
Popkomm delegates, I wanted to announce that the showcase program is starting in 5 minutes in La Vie en Rose with Sycamore H from Italy, then in Silver Wings at 1:15 with Axel and the Farmers, and at 1:30 with Alex Ritu from India.
All right, nice little announcement. So, like I just said, there's only like a little change that's ending up in the pockets of, in the wallets of the musicians, and that's something that is making these guys do something totally different. You know, it's they have to go and look for jobs that are able to pay for their everyday bill. And I particularly like this one because, you know, I'm not sure if you recognize this guy, but it's Robert De Niro, and it's a picture taken from the taxi driver movie. But we all know that lots of these guys who are authors, who are actors, who are singers, who are musicians, you know, they have to do something else to basically make up for their own living. And this is something that I think it's about time to be changed. And I truly believe that really the war is over, at least from my perspective. When I look at social media, when I look at the reactions, you know, I get to see there's a little, I encourage you to have a look at it, there's a little documentary on Vimeo which is called Last Minutes with Odin. And it's a documentary 6 minutes long. It won the Vimeo Award 2010 for documentaries. And it's about a guy in Los Angeles whose dog has cancer, and they need to put the dog to the doctor to like be killed because of the cancer. And there's I checked it yesterday. There are about 1,700 comments and for that video. It's very very interesting to read through these comments, because you actually get to see what a little 6-minute video can do to individuals. And I think it's about time, you know, for us to find ways how we can create a direct way how musicians especially, or creators, can interact with their fans on a commercial basis. And that's what we're basically doing with applaudto. If you go to applaudto.com, you get the chance to just leave us your email, and this is what we're thinking about all day, you know. What would you do to support the musicians, actors, painters and authors you love? And that's what we're working on. Basically what we're keeping in mind is that if you consider that such a small percentage ends up with the musicians, you know, from 100% that you pay on iTunes, you know, if you get a good deal, you get about like 2 to 5 cents as a musician. And we believe it should be the other way around, you know, the real guys should be able to get 100%. And I'm not saying that they should get 100% of what is paid for a song, but they should get 100% of the love that people have for their music. And that's what we're working on, basically. So at the very final thing here in this little presentation, I wanted to remind you of that little great song that Popkomm has done. Kriegen wir da einen Sound? Hallo?
Wer von mir, wer von mir.
Weil es so schön ist,
Noch ein Bier, noch ein Bier. Sagen Sie ihm, es wär von mir, es wär von mir, es wär von mir. Spielen soll er mir dafür, mir mir dafür, das Lied von dem Mann am Klavier, dann kriegt er von mir dafür noch ein Bier. Das sang ich 3 Jahre oder 4, denn man wollte von mir nur das Lied am Klavier. Viele klaviert, außer sie sagen mir, das Lied von dem Mann am Klavier, erinnerst du dich noch? Ja, also dann spiele ich's doch.
Okay, so thank you very much for your kind attention. I'm seeing that I'm really in time, and if you want to follow us, what we do, you can follow us on Twitter. If you want to talk to me here, we can talk here. And since there have been a couple of guys who are into investment, yes, we're still accepting seed money. Okay, thank you very much.
Tut's noch, sehr gut. So, thank you so much. We're so definitely good in time that we're unfortunately still missing out on one of the panel members for the next one. But in case he doesn't show up in 2 minutes, we just start and I have to do a bit of improvisation. And apart from that, we have to rearrange stage and I will hand over. This is now, it's really silly because I had to say something already. We do it the rock and roll way, okay? We don't do we do it the rock and roll way. Okay. Yep, this looks already good. If the red chair is missing, I don't mind because that one will be for me. So, welcome to our upcoming panel, Think Music. What is the future of music online? I have to admit it's a quite broad theme we're getting through, but we have international guests and we hope we can enlighten a bit of this huge discussion issue by my guests.